Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Paige. This is my channel, Being Paige. In this video, I'm going to talk about how I train my cat Cleo to be an indoor and outdoor cat. If you haven't checked out my last video, I'll link it down below or at the end of this video. It's all about why my cat is not vegan. It's a controversial subject, but confession, I am not forcing my cat to be vegan. I'm also sipping on some matcha and oat milk in this super rad glass jar that I used to have Irish sea moss in. It's from one of my vegan friends' company called Conscious Being. Before we begin, I want to talk a little bit about my history and background with cats. So I grew up with quite a few cats, but they were always outdoor cats because my mom had allergies. Anytime that our cats were inside our house, they were usually always in my room with the door closed, because then the cats wouldn't get out and obviously wreak havoc on my mom's allergies. But the only reason the cats were in our house was whether or not they, before they got spayed or neutered, so when they were kittens, or if they had gotten an injury, we would keep them in the house in my room just to stabilize them, make sure they were okay before we let them back out. I'm aware that there is a group of people that have a thought that animals should be indoors, at least domesticated animals. It's our fault that we domesticated animals in the first place, so the least we can do is protect them and make sure that they're safe in our home. I don't fall in that group thought. Because of my experience raising cats the way we did, it was natural for me to see cats be outside and be able to utilize their natural hunting instincts. I know it's weird to support an animal in their natural environment and doing their natural habits and stuff, even if that causes the suffering of another animal. Cats hunt. Today, the first day ever, Cleo brought in a lizard, and before, my outdoor cats would always, play with lizards. They don't necessarily eat them. Research, what I found is that because cats are eating a diet that's not as aligned to the one they would be eating in the wild, they've lost some of their natural instincts to hunt for food, but they'll still hunt to play. And a lot of the times my outdoor cats would catch lizards, bite off their tail, but their tail grows back, so don't worry. Bite off lizards' tails and then either just leave them there or, I don't know, dispose of them somewhere. And me being the vegan vegetarian that I was growing up, I would, collect the lizards, hold them safely, take them somewhere else so my cat wouldn't play with them. Yes, I realized that that's just a natural thing for my cat, and who am I to tell her that that's wrong? I don't like seeing the lizard suffer. So today when Cleo brought that lizard in here, it had a tail and it was bleeding, so I could tell that lizard was trying to get away, so I picked it up carefully, took him or her outside in a place where they can crawl under something to hide, and I'm hoping that lizard's alive. I think there's still a lot of things that cats, even domesticated cats, do that just shows how strong their connection is with nature. I hate seeing is when people declaw their cats. That is so sad to me, and cats need their claws. They use them, they like scratching things with them, they scratch on things to sharpen them and file them, just like what we would do on our own nails. It's just part of their hands, they have feelings in that area, so it's really sad that that's something that people do to domesticate animals. But you know what? There is a very broad spectrum, again, of animal guardians. And I don't like using the word animal owners because I don't think that we own animals. I think we have dominion over them in the sense that we have a responsibility to take care of them, protect them, nurture them. But just like with kids, we don't own them. They come here teaching us so much more than we think we're teaching them. And I think we can guide an animal and have them as our companion and take care of them and feed them, rather than think that we own them, they're our property, we can control them. Because little do we know, animals are so smart and have so much more personality than we give them. With my own experience with animal communication, I have learned so much from animals, and they have so much to teach us, and I just think it's really beautiful. Back to what I was talking about. So, Cleo came to us unfixed and did not have a chip. She must have been a stray or got out of someone's home, but nobody claimed her. So originally when me and Brian were keeping her, she was a foster. Since no one's claimed her, we've decided to keep her. And in the beginning, she was solely indoors because A, I didn't have a collar for her. B, I didn't know she was fixed at that point. C, I didn't want to risk losing her again if that was how she got out the first time. So when I went to go take her to a vet, they confirmed that she wasn't fixed, and they confirmed her age and that she's had no prior litters. Me and Brian decided to get her fixed because we wanted her to be able to choose to be an indoor-outdoor cat. I knew that like she just wanted to be free. Like, she's a cat, she wants to go explore and, you know, be wild. That kind of helped solidify the decision that we were gonna get her spayed. And even though it was hard to decide that for her, because it's like, I wouldn't want somebody to take my right to have kids. I want to have kids. I also didn't want her risking getting into fights or you know, having several litters that we weren't prepared to handle, nor had the space or resources to handle. So it just made sense. So we got her spayed, I think around 7 months or 6.5 months of age, and it took about 2 weeks for her to heal. So before she even got fixed, I trained Cleo using a harness. I went to PetSmart, I bought a harness and leash, and I can link one down below. If your cat isn't used to like collars and leashes, that's like a step you would want to get them used to before even taking them outside. Like, Cleo was ready wanting to go outside at that point. She had a collar. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna put this harness on her. And then I let her go to the door to go outside. As we're outside, we have like a little backyard area with grass. I let her explore. I held onto the leash. I focused also on my energy, reminding myself that animals are so good at sensing their humans and just other humans' emotions. And so I was like, okay, Paige, you have to stay calm. Do this for Cleo. Know that she can trust you. Just like stay cool, stay grounded. Obviously, we were grounding outside already, being barefoot on the grass, which I love. And I wanted that to portray through this experience so that Cleo knew she was safe outside and knew she could trust me as much as I could trust her. So that happened for, I would say, like a couple weeks before she ended up getting spayed. Just here and there, training her with the harness, exploring different parts of our backyard. So another thing that I do, which I'd done before and I didn't realize I was actually training my cats, was in terms of mealtime. So as my cats growing up ate dry food, like dry kibble food, we would always shake the bag. So wherever they were outside, even if they were in the neighbor's yard, we shook the bag, they would jump over the neighbor's yard and come for mealtime. So in a way, we totally use the whole Pavlov dog experiment with our own cats without even realizing it. And I remember that in terms of training Cleo, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna start shaking a bag of food. And I did supplement her diet with some dry food, so I had this little bag and I would shake it. And sure enough, like she comes, she hears that, they know that it's mealtime. But before that, every time I would feed her with that dry food, I would shake it just to cue her. And the same goes with toys too. If you have like a specific toy that your cat likes with a bell, like of course they're gonna hear that noise and then come running. At least that's what Cleo does, which again has helped me many times to find her. Her hearing is so good, guys. We don't understand cat senses, but their hearing is one of those things that I'm just like amazed by. So after she got spayed and after she healed fully, we started letting her outside. I would only let her outside in the morning time and the evening time, because I try to schedule it around her mealtime. So if I let her out in the morning, I know she's still hungry, so I know she's going to come back, especially if I shake the bag of food. So we started doing that. It was working out. We did it also before dinner time. It was working out. I have not let her outside at night, nor do I think will I let her, just because I feel like most other nocturnal animals are obviously up at night, especially possums, which we have in this area, and I feel like the majority of cat fights, from my experience, have happened at night, and I just don't want that for Cleo. Plus, she sleeps with us basically the whole night. I don't know how I sleep trained her. I really hope one day that works with my own kids. So I would say the biggest thing though that helped me in training Cleo to be an indoor-outdoor cat through this experience was just letting go and trusting her. It's just hard to do, you know. I'm the type of person who wants control. At the end of the day, like, Cleo's her own being and I want to support her and nurture her in what she wants to do, but also understand that like I can't force her to stay here in our house and with me and Brian. I wanted her to love to be an indoor-outdoor cat so that she got the best of both worlds. Like, she got attention and affection from me and Brian and a safe, you know, place to stay, but also she got the whole wild outdoors with, you know, all this like fun things, these bugs, creatures, the sunshine, the ground, the earth. She's exploring, she's being a cat. And I wanted her to be able to live both lives. And if she didn't want to, then that's fine too. You know, I was ready to begin to accept the fact that if she ran away, that we did what we needed to do for the moment and she's on her own. With that being said too, I didn't get her microchipped. I feel weird about doing that to an animal, especially because it's still surgery. It's under their skin, and it's like, I don't don't want a microchip for myself. Why would I put that on my animal? And that's kind of how I view things in terms of how I treat Cleo. Like, if I don't want it for myself, why would I do it to Cleo? Even though clearly, yeah, the whole getting fixed thing was a whole other scenario. I had to like weigh out the risks and benefits. Also, as a person, I don't want to get repeatedly pregnant over and over, or my baby's taken away from me. Like, that's how I would see the whole situation with Cleo if she wasn't fixed being an outdoor cat. So it's not always the easiest to make these decisions, and I'm not trying to sway your decision either way. I'm just sharing like my perspective from one cat mom. I'm still doing a lot of research. I'm still experiencing things. Cleo's my first ever indoor cat, or outdoor cat I should say, but she started strictly indoors, and I'm learning what's best to feed her. I'm learning about all this other holistic cat care stuff, conscious cat care. And I feel like that's been something that's been lacking in conversation in general, but also amongst vegans, because we don't like to admit the fact that some animals that we may be taking care of aren't meant to be herbivores like us. As the carnivore, Cleo wants to be outside, and I'm gonna let her be that. That's it, basically. That's my take on it. I hope you might have gotten some insight out of this. Feel free to comment down below with questions, comments, concerns. Like, I'm open to hearing people's sides and, you know, whatever they've done that works for their animals. If you want to follow along to learn about more cat stuff in future videos, which I hope to be doing, and other things that may interest you of my channel, please subscribe down below. I would really appreciate it. Cleo would really appreciate it too. Any other ideas for future videos, whether it's cat related or not, please like comment down below. You can always suggest things, and I'm always looking forward to more suggestions. So Cleo's literally right above me, just licking herself. She does this all the time. Look. Cleo! Hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day and week, and I'll see you in another video. Bye!